What is up, my butter biscuits? So, y'all, this Trisha Paytas drama, I feel like is not coming to an end at any point soon. However, I do think this will be my last video. Let me emphasize on think, because if some, like, you know, crazy details come out, then obviously y'all know I'm gonna want to talk about it. But as of right now, I think this is going to be my last, because I do see this situation just getting dragged on. And I feel like Trisha Paytas right now is just keeping it going. And I feel like, look, I totally understand her. She really has made her point. She's having an eye-opening experience right now. I've been in a similar situation that she has been in with a friend like this before, and I totally get her on wanting to vent. And then you're just having this eye-opening experience like, wow, was this friendship ever really even real? So she's probably just going through it right now and like reminiscing about all the single times that Shane did this or said this, or Rylan said this and did that. So she's probably like freaking out like, oh my gosh, you know, like I can't believe I didn't see this before. But I'm sure we can all relate that this has happened before, whether it be within a relationship or a friendship, whatever it may be. We tend to see things at the end of it. You know, we tend to kind of open our eyes and look back on these certain situations and are like, you know what? This person showed their true colors back then. You just didn't see it at the time. Sometimes you're just blinded, you know, and that's the way life is. However, I do feel like at this point, she is just really keeping it going. She did go on a like multi-story rant on TikTok, and it's like super long. I did want to touch on a couple of the things within this video. However, I did want to make this video because James Charles and Gabriel Zamora did chime in on this, and I actually forgot to mention this throughout my whole like videos of this. I wanted to get your guys' intake on how you guys feel James Charles is feeling right now, because I would imagine that he feels very vindicated, being that he's been saying this obviously about Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star, and now it's coming to light where Trisha Paytas, you know, their very own friend, is saying all the same things that James Charles once upon said. So he did make a tweet last night, and Gabriel Zamora did today as well too, and I'm kind of like, oh snap. But like, it's just proven time and time again now. And I know that there's still a lot of people within my comments that are telling me like, oh my god, shut up this and blah blah blah, telling me all different types of things. But I just feel like the more and more that we see here, the more that we can literally tally up the amount of influencers who have came forward to say something about Jeffree Star. And I feel like at this point, a lot of people did have this like misconception that people would come forward just because they're chasing clout, and being that Jeffree Star is pretty much like celebrity status at this point, people are chasing clout after him. However, do you think all of these people, you know what I'm saying? Do you think all of them are chasing clout? I really doubt it. Maybe there are some out there. However, the list just goes on. And I feel like at this point, we are really seeing Shane Dawson's and Jeffree Star's true colors. And I think this whole situation is terrible. In my personal opinion, though, before we get into this video, I just really think it would be best for Trisha Paytas to like take a break from her phone, only because I'm sure she is going through it, and I'm sure like everything is just hitting her right now because reality is really settling in. Like, oh my gosh, this person who you thought was your best friend really wasn't your best friend, and you're seeing their true colors now. But I think it's best to just take a break from social media, because people start putting things in your ears. You start seeing tweets, you start seeing videos, you see drama videos, and people start twisting the story a little bit, and then that's what makes everything worse, and you can make the whole situation a whole lot more messy than what it really needs to be. With that being said, I know everything is easier said than done, and I feel like she's the type of person that she needs to vent, which I totally get it, because I'm like that too. I need to vent, but sometimes it's best to just vent to a person in private rather than put everything onto social media, because I just felt like things can get really messy. But anyways, y'all, so I did want to touch up on her speaking about Rylan and Shane, because she did create another video about that. But then I also did want to talk about James Charles and Gabriel Zamora tweeting out their tweets about it, because I'm like, oh snap, they're over there like, ooh, I told you guys. Anyway, so if you guys are interested in that, of course, go ahead and keep on watching. If y'all are new here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, so that way you'll get notified when I upload a new video. Make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And let's go to get into it. My lips were like a real crusty in that intro. I was like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot to put on my lip gloss. So anyways, I wanted to go ahead and start this video off with this, because this is where I say I feel like Trisha Paytas should take a break, because I feel like things can get very messy. Because she actually tweeted out this: Rylan takes down the first episode of his podcast because he says how he didn't like Lizzie being friends with someone who betrayed him, but keeps his deal with the devil by his episodes remaining in the coward way of disabling comments. Because if you guys did not see, he uploaded 2 recent podcasts. However, he disabled both of the comments because a lot of people were grilling him in the comments saying, you know, what a bad friend he is, and what a bad bad friend Shane is. However, she's talking about him taking down this episode. However, the one that I believe she's referring to, because it's actually still up on the channel, is on there. So this is actually it right here. If you guys head on over to the SIP on YouTube, the title is Our Last Episode, which was from 1 month ago. And if you guys go to the little markers, so I don't know if you guys know this, but on YouTube there's markers and you can click on it and it says why Lindsay and Ryland stopped being friends, so you guys can see from the screenshot right here. I am in no way, shape, or form defending Ryland. Y'all already know my opinions. I feel like Ryland and Shane at this point have really proven themselves to really not be good friends. And I think that the whole situation just sucks, because if you guys did not see the SIP, Ryland was basically saying, oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know about this. But it's kind of like, okay, now that you do know about it, what are you going to do about it? You still have not deleted that episode with Jeffree Star on there. You still haven't unfollowed him. Like nothing. You haven't defended Trisha Paytas in any type of capacity in a public forum anywhere. So this is where I say things do get a little bit messy. But like I said, I'm not taking his side or defending him in any type of way. However, that episode was not deleted, and somebody is obviously in Trisha Paytas's ear, which is saying this tweet that I just said, where she's saying, oh, he deleted it, but that's not the truth. So I just did want to touch up on that topic because it's actually literally still there. Like, I'm filming this video right now at 3 p.m. on Thursday, and it's still there. I literally just clicked on it only because I saw people in Trisha Paytas's comments on Twitter saying, no, this episode is still up there, like, take a break, girl. And I 100% agree with that, because this is where I say things get messy, because people are in your ear feeding you information, obviously, and it could not be true. And of course, when you're like this and you're so frustrated and so just mad right now, and obviously this is like a heartbreaking situation, being that you're friends with somebody for this long and you're just seeing it all go to end, you're gonna start believing all these negative things because you're in a negative mindset. And I totally understand where she's coming from. However, someone is feeding her wrong information, and I think that that sucks, because that episode is still up there, and I feel like this is obviously going to make things worse, because now she's like, hold up, Ryland is deleting this episode just because he's telling Lizzie, I stopped being friends with you because you chose somebody that I didn't like over me, which obviously is the same exact situation going on with Ryland and Shane and Trisha with Jeffree, you know? So anyways, I just wanted to touch on that topic right there. I am going to go ahead and play a couple of the TikToks, which they're just, oh my gosh, if you guys are very bored, you guys can head on over to TikTok and go to her TikTok, which is Trish Like Fish, and y'all look at the screenshot right here of just how many like TikToks she made about this. So I am gonna just play 2 so that way you guys can see what she's talking about over there, because I feel like she does have some very valid points, and she is really just having like an eye-opening, you know, experience right now, seeing how Shane and Ryland really are. So go ahead and check these out.
I'm just so stupid to blindly defend them. Like, it's crazy. Like, like I said from the beginning of that, I was like, I don't hate them. I'm not going to, like, go on this hate monger. I hate them. They're the worst. Cancel them. Because, like, I believe Shane's super talented and can have a great comeback and stuff like that. And, you know, Ryland is marrying Shane. So I'm just disappointed, like I always said. Like, it's more just sad. Like, I watched that podcast and just seeing him cold and, like, lifeless and no soul and just straight up lying is insane. And I really do hope they say lifelong friends. Like, I really hope it was worth it. Like, I hope all this was worth it. I hope their friendship is worth it. I hope the money is worth it. I hope these sales are worth it. The views are worth it. I hope all that's worth it. Like, I don't... Like, I'm so stupid that I believed, or, like, I don't know what to believe anymore. He's saying Jeffree wasn't nice to Morgan and Ryland himself, and, you know, just people... It's just... There's just so much more I can say. I just want this to be over. I'm just in shock. And I'm just venting, so sorry. Shane edits all of Ryland's podcasts, so this is like a moot point. But also Ryland was there when I had all these talks with him about Jeffree, and Ryland himself was like, yeah, Jeffree's not that nice to me, so...
So let me know what you guys think about those. It's just, that's why I say I feel like at this point it's like never ending, and I feel like it's just going to completely just keep on getting dragged on, and I feel like they will talk about this again on the Frenemies podcast. So that's why I'm like, you know what, maybe this 3rd video is like good for me to be my last one on, because I just feel like it's just... It's never gonna end, you know. Trisha Paytas, like, just she keeps it going, you know, and I totally understand her. Like, her feelings are obviously very valid. We all know that. I completely sided with her in every type of way, but I do think at some point it's just kind of like, okay, let's just let it go. And she's getting all this information, which like I said, with the whole podcast thing, I don't necessarily know is true because it's still up there. But another thing that I wanted to talk about right here and get your guys' thoughts and opinions on is she actually quote tweeted this and said, "What a gross thing to make fun of anyway. People rent. You have money and what? You live an empty, shallow existence." Because there is this clip, which I will play right now from the Sip podcast, where Jeffree Star is basically making fun of YouTubers who rent their houses. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts and opinions about this. The reason why is because I actually saw this episode when it had came out and I didn't really think anything of it. But now, obviously, now that we know Hair by Jay came forward and was basically making fun of her for renting her house, and it became this whole big topic of conversation that she rents and not buys, even though she literally just bought like a $3.7 million house in I forget where, but some fancy area, you know. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on this, because do you guys really feel like this was Jeffree Star like basically like low-key bashing her? Because this was after the whole argument, and Rylan obviously thought it was very funny too. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this so that way you guys can see it.
But monthly, yeah, it's expensive. But my mortgage is really low. Unlike a lot of YouTubers, actually put, you know, I actually paid for my house. Yeah.
So as you guys can see from right there, when I first saw it, obviously I just thought it was like just a joke, and I thought it was more so a joke towards YouTubers who basically act like they're like super rich and they're living in this mansion, this huge old house in the hills, and it's kind of like, oh wait, but you just rent it. That's what I thought it was kind of like a dig. However, I mean, like, I get the joke, but at the same time, I don't get the joke, because honestly, y'all, like, I can't even afford my own house, and I wish that I could. It's literally my dream to own a house. Like, even if I was renting it, I just want to be in a house rather than an apartment. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really get like I get the joke. Look, I get it, because there is a lot of people who flaunt, you know, they get on the internet and they floss like, oh, I'm so wealthy, but at the same time it's kind of like you're renting. But then, like, y'all, let's think about this. Okay, in California, rent is so expensive, so you're still rich if you're renting a mansion. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who are paying like $15,000 a month just to rent a mansion, so therefore you still have money. So what does it really matter? You know what I mean? But what I'm asking you guys is right here is, do you guys think that this was actually towards Trisha Paytas? Like, was this low-key a little dig at her? I don't really know. Also, another thing that I wanted to talk about, another drama channel here on YouTube, Peter Mon, made a video, I believe it was like maybe a year ago. It was a while ago, but Trisha Paytas actually quote tweeted this and said, "A big F you to Shane Dawson. I've been hearing this S for years and refuse to believe it. Trying to set me up. Your loser a fiance that no one cares about lied his A off today. You guys are both scum. I can't believe you say S behind my back all these years. I never." So basically, see, this is what I'm saying. I feel like it's like an ongoing thing. Like, she's seeing all of these things now, and it's all just hitting her. She's like, oh snap, because she's having a coming to realization moment. Like, you know what, this guy was actually never really my friend. And she's seeing all of these old things that people have been saying for quite some time now, that Shane really ain't your friend, you know. And she actually even said too, I just realized now that Shane was only ever really my friend when he needed me. And I think that that sucks, you know. And that's why I say I feel like we can all relate to this situation. I feel like we have all had this same type of scenario happen in our life, and it's just very unfortunate, you know. But it is really best to not let people get in your ears. Like, you already know the truth now too. Don't start believing everything, because a lot of people do come forward and kind of like make up stories and, you know, fabricate them and make them a little bit more dramatic than what they really are, which in return just makes the whole situation worse. And I feel like this situation is really sad no matter which way you look at it, because this is a long-term friendship. And I've said it before in a previous video, friendships to me just literally mean the most, like genuinely mean the most. And I think that, you know, maybe in the future they do have a chance of salvaging this. Maybe they can make things work, who really knows. But obviously when things are getting added on into it, that's when there's obviously not going to be any like hope, because things are just getting buried deeper and deeper and deeper. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I hope I'm making sense with that, because I do see a lot of things that are coming out on the internet that it's really sad to see, you know. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into James Charles right here. So this is what I wanted to read to you guys. So James Charles actually tweeted out last night, "It's so liberating when people finally start to see what you've been seeing all along." And what I really want to know, y'all, and I'm really curious about this, is like what he thinks about Trisha now. Because obviously, if you guys don't remember, he made that TikTok that was like super viral. That thing had like 40 million views, where he was basically telling Trisha, you and your friends are the problem, which he was referring to Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. So now that she's seeing where James Charles is coming from, I wonder what he thinks about Trisha. Like, I wonder if he's over there like, I told you, girl, didn't want to listen to me. And I think that it's really crazy, because to be honest with you, and I told you guys this too, this is me just being straight up with y'all, I had like an eye-opening experience too, because I literally always hope the best for people. I hope that even when anybody makes a mistake, they can change. But seeing that this is ongoing behavior and that it's obviously not changing, it's kind of like, oh snap, like I low-key feel stupid too, you know? And I'm sure Trisha feels like that too, because she's seen the whole entire internet turn on Jeffree and Shane, and maybe it really is for a reason, you know? But I think that there are some people that are like me, and maybe even like Trisha, who genuinely just want to see the good in people so hard that we kind of block out the bad, which sometimes can be really bad. I feel like sometimes it could be really good, because I do feel like we need more positivity in this world, but then at the same time too, we need to not be oblivious, you know? And I'll be straight up honest with y'all, I have a way of being oblivious sometimes. That's just me being honest. Anyways, Gabriel Zamora, also another person who had a falling out with Jeffree Star amongst every other beauty influencer out there. He said, it's all fun and games until you become personally victimized by Regina George. And I feel like obviously this was just his way of, you know, poking a little bit of fun at it and basically saying, you know, paying homage to Mean Girls when they say, somebody raise your hand if you've ever been victimized by Regina George, and like everybody raises their hands, because obviously we can see it at this point. This is what I said in my previous video, and like I totally get it. The stands for Jeffree are going to come hard and they're gonna bash me, whatever. It's totally fine. I just don't see how that many people can be so naive, and that's coming from a person who openly admits to being naive at times, because I genuinely try to take things for face value and look at things for what they really are. I just don't see how you can continue being naive in this point, to see that there is just countless amounts of people who have had just such horrible experiences with Jeffree. And I think that it sucks, you know? I think it really sucks, because I said it before, y'all, and I'll say it again, and I still stand by my statement. I really do feel like Jeffree Star definitely had the opportunity to be like one of the best makeup creators in the world, because the stuff that he creates, even if you don't like it, it's still very different, very unique, and really good formulated products. You know what I'm saying? So I think as a makeup lover, as a makeup artist, as my whole life being makeup, there's that side of me that I'm like, dang, I just really wish that you could be a good person, because you genuinely have this like awesome creative mind to create concepts that are not out there in the market. And I think that his products really do stand out from what is out there on the market. And somebody who like is like me, who loves makeup, and I'm such a makeup consumer, I get a little bit like disappointed. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you could have been so bummed, because your ideas are so cool and so just unique, and your personality takes away from that all. So anyways, you guys, I hope that this is my last video about this. I will obviously make another video if there's like new details or more people come in to speak about it, like James Charles or Gabriel Zamora or anybody else really for that matter. But about the Trisha Paytas portion, I think that it's best at this point to just let it go. I feel like we all obviously have seen the story now, and we pretty much know what it is. So let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions on everything, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.